Woohoo!
Wow.
That means like you can have your own island. I'll take that one right
there. Let's just pick the small one, John.
Why not take a big one?
And there's only you and me. It's time to react to the world.
And today we hop on a virtual airplane and we go to Indonesia. Where we've been many times in this past month because there's been so many amazing artists have come from that country. Like Den the Rocker.
And like Couple Time.
That's right, danged up music, man.
Yeah.
And also a new artist, Stephanie Piotr. And we also got the Guitar Hero Lip doing the finger style.
That's right.
I mean, we haven't even been able to get to Rich Brian, who we know comes from Indonesia, and we love him. But I figure at this point, we should learn a little bit more about the country, Lulu.
Of course. Alrighty. Are you excited?
I'm always excited to learn about something new.
That's right.
It turns me on, Lulu. You know that.
I
Sexy dancing from you and facts.
Let's watch it.
Let's do it. And away we go.
What is going on? Dave Wobble here, and welcome to FTD Facts, the channel where we teach you everything about everything. Today, I got a really cool video for you guys. We're talking about Indonesia. Okay.
You know, you would think that if he's going to do something that's about Indonesia and there's so much, he would wear a shirt that maybe says, I love Indonesia, instead of a Star Wars shirt. Or maybe I'm just a nerd and that's the one thing I notice.
But for those who don't know a lot about Indonesia, well, you guys are gonna sit there and go, man, that place is one beautiful place. Because I mean, like, look at it. Like, look at Jakarta, those beaches. I mean, Bali, like, man, don't you just want to live there? Like, seriously, every single day? Now, right now, guys, you are looking at the map of Indonesia. Now, it is made up of a lot of islands. But there's been a lot of arguments of how many islands Indonesia is made up of. Well, according to the National Coordinating Agency for Survey and Mapping, they say that Indonesia is made up of 13,466
Woohoo!
Wow.
That means like you can have your own island.
Yes.
islands. Holy crap, that's a lot. Now that data was taken from 2007 to 2010.
I'll take that one right there.
2002.
Let's just pick the small one, John.
Why not take a big one?
And there's only you and me.
Study disagrees with that. This was done by the National Institution of Aeronautics and Space Agency, and they state that there is 18,307. Oh yeah, and the CIA World Factbook states that there's actually 17,000.
Man, those are some big differences. Somebody's math is way off.
Yeah.
508. So I'm looking at this, I'm like, how can all of these be so incorrect from each other? Well, this is because some of these studies have been taken during low tides. And when the water goes down, some sandbars appear as islands. However, the Indonesian government says that the whole country is made up of 8,844 islands. That's because those islands have been named, and about 944 of them actually have people on it. Now, have you ever heard of Java men? No, I'm not talking about guys that are like, yo man, I need my mother friggin' coffee right now. They were actually a form of Homo erectus that lived in Indonesia 1.5 million years ago to 35,000 years ago. Now they were the first form of human-like life on the islands.
Wow.
That's from Castaway, the movie.
But Homo sapiens, they didn't come in until about 45,000 years ago. The Kuala volcano in East Java, Indonesia, is one of the rarest volcanoes on the entire planet. This is because the volcano spews out blue flames. Now, this isn't some magic trick, no voodoo crap going on, and no aliens ain't doing anything. It actually has to do with sulfur. The volcano is filled with it, and that's why the flames come out blue. Even some of the...
That is dangerous to be down there hacking out a volcano, dude. What you got a death wish?
Lava looks blue. It's really cool to see. Now, if you thought blue flames were out of this world, check this plant out.
I've seen a real one.
It is huge. Look at it. You could eat that person's head in one giant bite. This form of flower is called the Rafflesia arnoldi, and it is found only on the island of Sumatra. It is
That is beautiful and creepy as hell at the same time.
the largest individual flower on the entire planet, and it's actually called the corpse flower. This is because, well, it smells like rotting flesh. I thought flowers were supposed to smell really nice. Now let's just crack
Worse
this
than
one. You guys
durian.
probably already know that Indonesia has a lot of people. Although Indonesia has a land mass of 1.905 million square miles compared to the United States, which has, well, over 9 million square miles, Indonesia has 249.9 million people living in it. That's got to be crowded. As a matter of fact, it is crowded. They estimate that there's 134 people living per square mile. Now, during the Second World War, Indonesia was occupied by Japan. And during that occupation, the United Nations reported that over 4 million people had died from forced labor and even famine. Now, unfortunately, here's a fact that is not going to make Indonesia look amazing, but it is a true fact. Indonesia is one of the highest polluters of CO2 emissions. As a matter of fact, it's about third in the entire world. The reason for this is because they have the largest metro area of population with no metro system, so no public transport. And without a good public transportation system, everybody practically drives everywhere.
That must be traffic nightmare.
The name for ketchup comes from an Indonesian word. As a matter of fact, it's an Indonesian delicacy called kecap, which is sweet soy sauce. And they put that stuff on a lot of dishes. As a matter of fact, it's one of the popular sauces in all of Indonesia. Now, lastly, they call the area of Indonesia the Ring of Fire. Now, it has nothing to do with the amount of spices and sauces that they use in their food, but it's because in that location there are 400 volcanoes.
400 volcanoes.
With at least 150 of them being active in Indonesia. Now, these go all the way from the East Pacific to the West Pacific Ocean. And because of all these volcanoes, they
God, you can literally see the flames shooting up there.
cause 4 earthquakes a day. That would suck balls. Like, Los Angeles don't even have it that bad. Speaking about volcanoes, let's talk about one of the biggest ones, the Toba supervolcano. It was a supervolcano that erupted around 75,000 years ago. Now, where the volcano is, it's considered Lake Tabo. But not only at that time, but even to this day, it is one of the largest volcanic explosions in Earth history. This eruption created what they call the Toba catastrophe theory, and it was so big that it created a 6 to 10 year volcanic winter. Now, for those who don't know what volcanic winter is, it's where the volcano throws up so much dirt, debris, and ash that it causes the sun to reflect a lot of its heat, thus making the Earth a lot cooler. Although they think that volcanic winter lasted 6 to 10 years, it also created a possible 1,000-year cooling period. But how big was it? Well, it was so big that after the explosion, there was about 15 centimeters of ash all over South Asia. And some of that even went into the Indian Ocean. Well, that is it, guys. That is our facts on Indonesia. My name is Dave Wapple. It's been awesome hanging out with you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay? Cool. Bye. Wow.
May the force be with you, buddy.
May the force be with you. How cool is that?
That's interesting. They didn't cover a lot of the culture. I feel like they kind of glossed over that beyond maybe the sweet soy sauce, which I really want to try now. I have no idea what kind of food they really eat. Is it influenced from China or is it more Thai? From what I understand, it's like influenced by, you know, a number of things around there, but still not entirely sure. Mainly because there aren't that many Indonesian restaurants or actually that many Indonesian people in America. And unlike a number of like ethnic Asian people from the Chinese to the Japanese, Filipino to Thai, there's a lot of representation here. So we tend to get a lot of exposure to that. I have a lot of friends from those backgrounds, from those ethnicities. Indonesia is just one where we don't get a lot of exposure to.
I feel the same thing with you. I was waiting for something like the outfit, the national dress, or...
I don't know, with that heat, I think the national dress is t-shirts and shorts and sandals.
Lots of numbers for me. I don't think I'm gonna remember that. But it's beautiful to know that there's so many islands in Indonesia.
Well, I think what's interesting here is that I think we'll watch another video that goes into the visual beauty of the land. Because that's one thing I actually didn't realize about Indonesia was how tropical it was. I should have figured that out because I've been to Vietnam and it's tropical heat there, and beyond the major cities, which can be very congested, it is like rainforest everywhere. So that makes a lot of sense that a lot of Indonesia is rainforest. I just didn't realize there's so many volcanoes and so many rocky crags out there. I bet you it's an absolute paradise. Beautiful for someone who loves to do video photography, for nature, hiking, mountain climbing, flying a drone. Oh, it must be awesome out there.
Oh, it's beautiful. That makes me miss my Philippines. That was a nice ride.
Yeah, that was a nice wet the palate sensation. So I'm hungry for more. I need some recommendations regarding the culture, the people, the food. So please, if you want to see those, make sure you subscribe first of all, and then second, make sure you give those recommendations. That's how we leave. We don't beg for money. We beg for links.
And for your subscription.
Okay, and those two. That too.